Hi, I'm Lance.
And I'm Joe.
And we're the SAR guys.
Lance, we got a bunch of radios in front of us today.
Yeah, we're going to get a little geeky today and try to figure out some radios, huh?
Well, let's not get geeky. Let's actually do it for the average searcher. You know,
That's good.
We had a person on our team recently ask, what radio should I buy? I want to buy an inexpensive radio, but I want to get something that does the job for us.
Yeah.
My old standby has been this UV5 Baofeng, and it's an inexpensive radio. There, you can get them for $13 now, you know, on Amazon. And being that I like to get geeky sometimes, I found this new UV5 RM that this thing here, and boy, it's supposed to be the latest and greatest.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks cool, and I got the two of them for $68. But then I've got to thinking, well, which one's better?
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about it. I've been using this UV5R for about 6 years. And the only problem I ever had with it on very, very long missions, like over 17 hours, battery went out on me. And the other is recent training we did, my microphone filled up with water and was garbled and didn't work, which I'll be replacing that. What do you really need a radio to do when you're just the average searcher, not geeking out or anything? What do you really need it to do? Well, you need it to turn on, easy.
That's good.
You need to be able to hear traffic on it.
Yep.
And you need to be able to transmit.
Yep.
And you need to be able to change frequencies if you need to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. That's all it needs to do.
Period.
Yeah. So the extra things that this other radio here, it claims that it has 10 watts of power. And if you look online, I've never seen anybody that's tested it get more than 7.8 watts out of it. So on the UV5, they do get a true 5 watts out of it. So the difference is not that much. Yeah. And the reality is you could actually make a bigger difference on a radio by changing the antenna or changing your location. So you have this little antenna on this radio versus this antenna that I added on later on. And on this little radio, I've really not had problems that with this radio that a bigger radio would have fixed.
That's right.
You know, I've actually traveled with a bigger radio with more wattage, and when somebody on the UV5 with 5 watts can't reach command, I couldn't reach them either with 8 watts on the radio I was using. So that little radio, size-wise, it's better, I think. It fits in my chest pack a little better.
No one uses chest packs anymore, Joe.
I use a chest pack. So this radio just slides right in, and it's in there. It's protected. The push-to-talk button is protected. It doesn't accidentally push to talk or anything like that. If I try and put this one in here, it's a tight fit, and the push-to-talk button right here is right up against the side. So if you lean in different directions, you can have an open mic. And yes, I've been guilty of having an open mic because of that very reason. So the small size I like for that. You say people don't use these chest packs anymore. A lot of people are clipping these on their shoulder straps or wherever they might have it. Some people even put them on their belts.
Yeah.
And even in those cases, I think smaller is better. Yeah. So the advantages on this radio, and one of the reasons I bought it was because the screen is a lot larger and it's in color. And for when you're out in the field and you're having to look at frequencies or change frequencies, that's really nice compared to the little screen on the UV5. One of the problems, though, is if we were to do the geek out thing. Okay, now we just saw a different thing happen. This timed out on the screen, has a screensaver on it, battery saver, and it times out. And I have this set to 25 seconds. So that's a problem.
What's the longest that you can leave that on?
25 seconds.
Yeah.
And when that happens, when we were getting ready for this, I had turned the radio on to show you the screen, and then I didn't realize it was on. And then we started to do our work, and all of a sudden it started talking because I didn't know the radio was on.
Yeah.
So the screen doesn't come on unless you hit a button somewhere, you know, and there now the screen's on for 25 seconds. So it's very easy to turn it on and forget that it's on.
Absolutely.
And that could be problematic. When we're in the field, we only usually want to have 1 or 2 radios on a team on at a time. and quick look at the screen and see if you're on or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't work on this one.
Yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
Yeah. The screen is nice. I do like this. If you have to change frequencies, that's nice. The downside of it is when you're programming, if you look here, the programming is in the lower part of the screen and it's in red on blue. If you're out in the sun, you can't see it. In fact, if you're out in daylight, you can't see that. So if you have to do in the field programming, again, that's the geek side. It's very difficult to do.
His side, not my side.
Yeah. But the average person isn't going to be doing that.
No, absolutely not. On the Oregon coast, we're a little bit lucky because we don't have to deal with the sun that much, or we just go behind a tree. But there are other areas that have a lot better sun, and it's a lot more vibrant than what we have here on the Oregon coast.
Yeah. And one more reason that I bought this that I really, really liked, and that is it has a USB charger right on the back. There's a USB-C charger. Really? In the field? The batteries last so well on these things. I'm not charging it in the field.
Absolutely.
You know, I do carry a spare a power pack that I can charge my phone with, but now I can charge the radio if I needed to. But the reality is the battery doesn't die, so I'm not going to need to do that. So again, that's not a necessary function. The advantages are just pretty minimal compared to the other radio. Price-wise, $16. Cheapest I could find this was $25 on Amazon. Neither one of them are really that expensive for what you're getting. But if you really want to go cheap, I would buy the UV5R and have a nice antenna on it and a decent speaker mic. And I think that's the way I would go.
Now, did you say that this one was water rated?
This one is not water rated.
Okay.
So that's, you want to talk about that radio there?
So this is a UV9R Pro. And I got it mainly because it's almost identical to the other ones, other than it does have a water rating. So it's the 65 waterproof rating or whatever that is, 67. I don't remember the number there, but it's right in there. You know, 3/4 of our team have this one. And in the 6 or 7 years that I've been on the team, I think we've seen 2 of them get thrown away. Was it from water related? I don't have a clue, but I mean, they get drenched and they keep on going. I've seen more microphones go out, and my other radio, that's the same thing. I replaced my microphone. I don't think it was because of water, but it was just a crappy microphone that I needed to get rid of. And so I got a new one, which is a lot nicer.
Right. So, and this microphone that came with the Baofeng, it had water in it in our last drill, and it became useless. They said it sounded like I was underwater, and it literally was in the water. So that didn't work. I like the stoutness of this. This thing just feels good. It's dust proof, it's waterproof, and this might have to be my next radio, I think.
One of the things that I liked about this is that's different than here. The push to talk actually extends out of the casing. So he was saying that when he puts it in his pack, he does the open mic. This one is actually recessed, and so you have to purposely push the button. You have to get in there, and so you're not going to have the issue with this, what is a UV9R Pro, with the open mic scenario that he was talking about earlier. But this one says that it's 8 watts. There again, you go and you look at the people that are actually gauging them. Are they getting 8 watts out of them? No, they're not. And I like what Joe says is go out. Yes, you buy a cheap radio, and then you're going to probably pay as much for an antenna to upgrade the antenna than you are the whole radio. And get a good antenna, and you'd be amazed how much it changes your radio. So.
Cool. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to make the ultimate radio, figure out from all these which it is, and then do a video on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So talk about the modifications that we've done and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's amazing when you talk about radios and then you get into antennas. You got the breakaway antennas. You got the long antennas. Just like everything else, know what your team uses. We do have Kenwoods that the Sheriff's Department provides. We don't have enough for everyone on our team, but we've been utilizing these Baofengs for years, and they just have been pretty solid, just absolutely solid radios.
So, Lance, did we answer the question?
What was the question?
What's the best radio for the non-geek in the field?
Well, I'm going to say my personal preference is the one that I bought.
Right.
But I think overall, I think we did. I would say, you know, why reinvent the wheel when the wheel's already there?
Right.
The little 5 UV5Rs, you can beat the tar out of them. I've seen them dunked. I've seen them go through the Oregon weather, and they just keep on going. So I don't think you'll go wrong with the UV5R.
Right.
And
at that price point, I think, as an entry level for the average searcher, if you get 50, 60 searchers and they want their own radios, it's like, you know what? Just
think about it. There's your latte at Starbucks. So, I mean, they got to be up to $13 by now, right? So
there you go. Okay. All right. Well, we hope you found this video useful. We did a lot of rambling and just a lot of discussing, but I think our conversation might cause you to think a little bit about what radio you might want before you buy one. I really jumped quick on this particular radio to get it, and I didn't have the conversation with you, and I'm thinking I want one of these now, and I'm going to have to sleep on it though, because I don't want to just go out and buy one right away, but I might.
Check it out, look at the things, and then, you know, go and watch some videos on what people are actually getting in the output. I think it'd be surprising. When I first started researching, I'm like, oh, there's a 25 watter, and the people are like, yeah, we're getting 7 out of it. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not the geeky person that understands all this. I just need a radio to turn on that I can figure out channels and broadcast. That's what I want. But I wanted something for our area. And so I was like, oh yeah, more power, more power, more power. And everybody's like, yeah, that's an advertising stunt. It's clickbait, right? Yeah. So do your research and then figure it out. So, but this is what's worked for us.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
We'll see you on the trail.
See you later.